Hello, Mixtresses and Mixters. This is Mixtress Ray. You're watching Mixtress video. So this is a total experiment. It is 12:10 and I have about an hour before I need to leave the house. So that's more time than I usually have. And I wanted to record a video for you guys just kind of talking about my second full week, or I'm headed into, how does that work? I'm on day 20 right now of no smartphone. Whatever, I'm not going to try to do the calculations. Does that mean I'm heading into the third week or heading into the fourth? I guess it means I'm heading into the fourth because I'm completing my third, right? Anyway, so this is a total experiment. I'm just going to get ready the way that I normally would, and I'm going to talk. So this is a get ready with me in sort of a more literal sense, because I'm not going to be like showing you products or any bullshit like that. I'm just going to be getting ready and talking. So, and this is going to show you how scattered it is when I'm getting ready as well, because I'm going to suddenly be like, oh yeah, I need this. Oh yeah, I need this. So I'm going to be getting up and walking around and like, this is a get ready with me neurodivergent style. And okay, so first thing I need, sorry about the sounds of my chair on the floor. First thing I need is a belt. And sorry about the sounds of the belt smacking against my bureau. Again, neurodivergence. And there you go. Okay, I'm gonna put my rings on. Okay, so I wanted to kind of tell you about the experience of my third week without a smartphone. So I brought out both my purse notebook and my journal, because I write things in both of those places. And I'm trying to decide how much I want to narrate what I'm doing. Probably not much, if anything. Let's see, let's go with... So visually, this might not be that interesting of a video. But, oh well. I'm just wearing very basic clothes today. I have to vote, which I do. I do vote, but I don't enjoy it because it just always feels like you're choosing the least objectionable option of very objectionable options. Although there are a few people that I kind of want to vote for right now. So that's cool. I recommend, can't look at that. I was going to try to look at you guys, but I can't do that. I need to look in my own mirrors to know what I'm doing. Maybe I could at least tell you a little bit of what I'm doing. Right now I'm using the Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab Snake Oil Hair Gloss, of which I likely will never rebuy, not because I don't like it, but because it's incredibly expensive. So I'm just enjoying it as I finish it, because it's this gorgeously perfumed spray that kind of tames my hair a little bit. And I don't use it every day. Most of the time I use what I actually will replace. Oh my god, this is already devolving into product endorsement. I didn't even finish putting my rings on. I need to do that. But this is what I actually will replace, which is called Damage Remedy Coconut Miracle Oil, which is, it smells like coconut and vanilla, which I am very partial to making my hair smell like coconut. Okay, let me finish putting my fucking rings on. I got distracted by what earrings I was gonna wear. I'm going to add a second necklace today, but what do I want? I'll just go with the traditional traditional for me, like my favorite 2 necklace combo is my little Egyptian eye and my mixtape. Okay, I'm gonna be behind the scenes today. It is very hot outside, and the hottest room of my house is my bedroom because the attic access is through this room. And our attic fan is broken right now, so it's not venting out the heat in the way that it should be. You know when you see a new flavor of LaCroix at the store and you're like, yeah, I'll try that. Let's see how it goes. And it's awful, but you still have to drink it? That's how I feel about mojito. This is the last one, though. This is the last one. Okay, and I'm sweating. As you can see, I'm sweating. Anyway. Okay. This is gonna be disorganized, of course. Like, I probably don't even need to tell you that it's gonna be disorganized. But I was on the Dumb Phones Reddit, subreddit, I guess is what you call it, right? Yesterday. And I've only begun to explore that. You know, for the most part, I'm just kind of dealing with this whole process in whatever way I'm dealing with it inside my head. But it struck me, there was a lot of people showing pictures of their EDC, which I had to look up, which means everyday carry. It's funny, like in the viewfinder, it looks like I have a zit on my chin, but in real life, it's like the viewfinder is seeing that I'm about to have a zit, but it's not actually here yet. Anyway, which just means everyday carry, which most of y'all probably already know that. But so I thought it was an interesting thing for me to see that other people, when they are embarking upon the dumb phone lifestyle, they also are pretty device focused at first. You know, like, because I feel like if you're showing people pictures of the things that you take with you every day instead of a smartphone, then it means that you're kind of focusing on what you're still very device focused, which is what I was saying. That was my main point to you guys last week, was that I still feel very device focused. It is interesting how they were able to capture the dusty mint texture, the dusty texture of mint leaves when you chew them in your mouth. But I don't really want that in a beverage. Whew. I also confuse when I bought the mojito flavor of LaCroix. I confuse the word mojito with the word mimosa. Like, I very much understand that they are different things, but sometimes I get confused if I don't think about it for a second. Do I look like Beyonce right now? No. Okay. This is harder to do. I knew it was going to be hard for me to try to talk while I'm hot, while I'm trying to get ready for work. Because normally I wouldn't be wearing my entire clothes right now. But of course, I'm not going to be naked on the internet. So I wrote down a comment from Natalie Wynn that I wanted to share with you guys that is... It's unrelated to the dumb phone stuff, but I think it's very true. So I do feel like internet comment sections are making our culture more conservative and conformist. It's hard for honest-to-God weirdos to thrive online because we have to incessantly get feedback from boring assholes. So true, right? Just looking in my little purse notebook to see if there's anything that I wrote down that would be kind of an insightful thing to share with you guys about my third week of no smartphone. I just saw something. Oh, I found out about a phone plan service cell phone provider called Tello. so some of y'all might already know about this. But they are, they have very cheap internet. I am breaking out. It's probably just because it's summer. Anyway, so it's called Tello, and basically you get to fine tune exactly what type of internet you want, or what type of cell phone plan you want. Like, you get to choose how much data, minutes, like all of that. You get to fine tune it. And it's very cheap. I ordered a SIM card for myself. They have to mail it. But it's basically going to be $14 a month for me, which is incredible because, you know, I mean, those of y'all that have smartphone plans, if you don't already have kind of like a prepaid type phone plan, and a lot of people do, a lot of people already know about these services. Like, you can get cheap phone plans, they exist. But I've been on Verizon, and my phone plan is, because I'm part of a family, it's a bit cheaper than it would be if I were by myself. But my phone plan is essentially $40 a month now. With all kinds of fucking fees and taxes and bullshit like that, of course. But now I'm going to be cutting that down to 15, which is incredible. And I'm pretty excited about it. I'll let you know if it works, you know, because I'm still like skeptical about things. Like, is it really going to be $14 a month? We'll see. Okay, what do I want to do for a look today? Wearing a gray shirt. So should I lean into... Should I try to do a smoky eye look? It's usually a hot mess when I try to do a smoky eye look, but you know what? Let's try it. I feel like that's the correct... Raccoon eyes is the correct vibe for a day where I have to fucking vote. And I'm not complaining about voting because I don't want to have the right to do it, just to be clear. I'm complaining about it because it doesn't feel like an exciting civic duty anymore, you know what I mean? Anyway. So I found a possible new phone plan. Hopefully it works out as advertised. And I get to keep my phone number, which is important to me because I've had the same phone number since I was in high school. Alright, I'm possibly going to make weird makeup decisions because I'm distracted by talking to you guys, but you know what? It's fine. Need a smudging tool. So that's one thing. I also, guys, I hit this weird point. Maybe it's not weird, but I noticed particularly this last week, you know, my second or third week of no smartphone, I noticed that I'm thinking more and more about just pulling away. Whoa. In the viewfinder, these look like two totally different eyeballs. I hate looking at my own face. It's so dysregulating. I mean, I can do it in a mirror, no problem. Oh God. Bad things happened already with that eye. So I gotta overdo it on the other side to make up for it. This is always the train wreck eye. It always like starts watering when I put eyeliner and stuff on it, especially certain times of the year. Anyway, a thing happened. I'm gonna have to periodically stop and do this. I used to have a little fan up here, but I need to replace the batteries and I haven't. So there's that. I could plug it in. I need to remember that I can do that and find a cord for it because I'm sure I have one. So the thing that I recognized that was happening with me is that I was starting to question everything that was internet related, just in general. You know, like, do I want to continue doing this? Do I want to continue using this internet service, etc.? And that led me to, some of y'all know this, if any of you watching are my friends that I've been talking to on WhatsApp, I deleted my WhatsApp this last week. I tried to, like, send out a message to people, but I did this thing. It's a very, like, emotional thing for me. When I decide I'm ready to let something go, I just kind of do it. Sometimes without thinking it through, sometimes without properly informing everyone. So I have a couple of friends that I need to reach out to in some other format. But essentially, if you already have my phone number and you've noticed that I've disappeared from WhatsApp, please find me on Signal because I'd love to keep talking to you. I'm sorry that I just sort of blazed out of there. Like, it was kind of impulsive. So what happened? What happened was Sunday. This was Sunday when this happened, I think. I'm recording this on Tuesday, obviously, because I'm whining about voting, so that's a Tuesday thing, right? Isn't it always Tuesday that you vote? Should I add some... It looks more dramatic and cool almost on the viewfinder than it does in real life. In the real life, it looks like a hot mess. Anyway. So what I did on... I'll just share with you the list. What I did on Sunday, I went through my laptop and I deleted a bunch of apps that are unnecessary or I don't want to continue using. Mostly a lot of Google shit because I have a Chromebook, so it's a lot of Google apps, but they actually do allow you to delete even Google-based apps on a Chromebook. So I deleted a bunch of Google apps on my Chromebook and a few other things too, like a lot of streaming services. I don't really use them on my laptop anyway, and for the most part I'm not subscribed to many of those anymore. So I just deleted all those apps on my Chromebook as well because, like, I don't really need it for that anyway. I have streaming apps on I have a Roku TV. So that's where I watch television related things on my TV. So it was just pointless for them to be on there anyway. So that was just sort of a no-brainer thing. And then I went to my desktop computer, which is a Mac, and I deleted I wasn't actually able to delete much on that because Apple is super fucking controlling and they don't want you to be able to do what you want with your shit. So there were a bunch of, like, Apple apps that I wanted to delete, but I couldn't. So there's that. I need glitter. Did I say that already? And then I forgot to actually use it. I need glitter. I'm gonna have to do something with my hair because I'm working in the book drop today. So even though I'd like to leave it down, because I like my hair down, it's going to get in the way. So I'm gonna need to do something with it here in a minute. So you guys are gonna get to see me struggle with my hair. Because for someone that has very long hair that could do really fun, cool things with it, I never do. Yeah, we're going for grunge, we're going for unhinged. That's what I say because I can't do it any other way. Get the black off of my glitter pencil before I put it away. Okay. So I deleted a few programs on my MacBook, or not MacBook, Mac, whatever, computer, desktop computer. And then I decided to go through my password book and account by account, just sit with myself like, do I really want this internet account still? What am I using it for? Is it something that I want to be spending my time doing? The thing that's been happening about dumb phone life, one of the things that's been happening, is it's been really easy for me to see. It's like, you know, a film has left my eyes, you know? And it's easier for me to see what things in my life are not working for me anymore. So this is ultimately a good thing. It's possible that my approach to it is a bit destructive because I tend to really enjoy blowing things up. I tend to just, not necessarily burning bridges with people. I don't typically like doing that. I don't think of myself as a person that generally holds grudges, but I mean, I can get to a point with someone where like something's a deal breaker and I can't be friends with them anymore. That's absolutely happened. But for the most part, I don't enjoy blowing up friendships, but I do enjoy blowing up things. I enjoy deleting things, particularly like, you know, digital type things. So when I got to this point where I was going through my password notebook, getting ready to delete, it was really enjoyable for me. So let me read you the list of the things that I deleted. Okay, if I'm gonna be putting my hair up in buns, I need a bunch of fucking clips ready to go. Gonna get out 6 of varying sizes. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, here's the list of the accounts that I just deleted. WhatsApp, Instagram, Storygraph, Goodreads, Tumblr. Goodreads and Tumblr, both of those, I didn't even realize I still had accounts with them because I haven't used them in so long, but I just went ahead and did that when I realized I still had it. Wishlister, which was, I just downloaded that this year, or just signed up for that this year because I thought that I might want to keep track of the different things that I would want to buy on the internet this year. But I didn't end up really using it. Like, I put some stuff on it back in, like, I don't know, January and February, but I didn't continue using it. So I just decided to, that one is not like, I didn't have anything like against Wishlister. You know, I don't think it's an unethical company. And many of these companies I deleted because I think they're unethical companies, like Instagram and WhatsApp. I don't want to be part of the metaverse anymore. No more Mark Zuckerberg apps for me. Like, I realize that there are a lot of corrupt things on the internet. Like, you know, and my data is not going to be safe just because I got away from Mark Zuckerberg. I realize that. But it was important to me to do that. So I switched to Signal. I already said that and I got rid of, okay, you know what? Weirdly, that's like the first time I've done 2 buns and I haven't felt like I needed to redo one of them immediately. So that's nice. That's nice. Okay, and then I pulled up my old iPhone as well, and I deleted it, wiped it, because I'm giving it to my nephew, because he shut his phone in a car door, and it's bent. It's bad. It's bad. He needs a new phone, and He's 19. He can't afford to buy himself a new phone. That's the other thing, is that I'm going to be saving so much money being on Dumb Phone Life because theoretically, this feels good. Usually I have to put a ton of clips and things, but I found these bigger clips recently that I had temporarily lost. Okay, it's not completely symmetrical, but it's not terrible, right? I mean, I'm just gonna be working. And not that many people are gonna fucking see me today, so it's fine. I guess I could throw in a couple of these littler side clips just for a bit more security, and use some hairspray here in a second. But I mean, most of these apps that I decided to delete, it's because it's gonna genuinely be better for me to let them go. Do you guys ever run out of hairspray? I mean, I guess I don't use it every day, but like I've had the same fucking can of hairspray for like a decade. It's so big too. If I ever do need to replace hairspray, I'll buy like a much smaller container of it. Okay, well, it could be worse. It's serviceable. I'm gonna go with it. Maybe I should put some spray on the buns themselves. I think I don't use enough. My skin and hair eat things too. It's like I'll put hairspray on, but it doesn't seem like I've put hairspray on. I'll put on, like if I do put on foundation, which I usually don't, by the end of the day, it's just gone. It's just not there anymore. I'm gonna do a light powdering though, which will help with general shininess. So it was really important to me to delete WhatsApp and Instagram. I tried to delete Instagram earlier this year, and you know how you have to do the whole like delete it and then wait 30 days before it's actually deleted. So if you log back in those 30 days, then you're starting the timer over, you know? You've undeleted it. So I've got to make it this time. I hope I do. Yeah, okay. What else? Just whining about work. I'm just looking through my journal just to see if there's any. Oh, that was already. Oh, I want to read you guys the lyrics to a song that I rediscovered this week. Because it was just. They're really simple lyrics, but it felt really profound to me, so I'm going to do a dramatic reading of Moog Island by Morchiba. Sometimes I get up feeling good, but greed gets me down. I try to think about the highs, the freedom we've found. When the business in your life don't sit with your soul, and they treat you like a child they need to control. The music that we make will heal all our mistakes and lead us. The music that we hear is always standing near to feed us. We're all gonna rise above all things that we lack. Good vibrations that we make will come bouncing back. The music that we make will heal all our mistakes and lead us. The music that we hear is always standing near to feed us. That just gets me. I love how, like, this song is very, you know, it's a bit delusionally optimistic, right? Because there's that line, we're all gonna rise above all things that we lack. Good vibrations that we make will come bouncing back. But I genuinely need to believe that. Like, okay, so here's just a total segue into voting. I've always been slightly practical when it comes to voting decisions. Like, I'm not necessarily into voting for the Democratic candidate that is the choice. But I will do it because for example, what I'm trying to say is a lot of my friends will vote third party, and I totally understand. I totally understand. If we all were brave enough to do that, we might get a third party candidate, which would be interesting and cool. And maybe an actual person that has compassion for humanity, which I feel like should be a basic fucking requirement for politicians, but it's not. You know, like if you're gonna lead people, if you're going to be a representative of the people, shouldn't you give a shit about humanity? Shouldn't that be a basic requirement? No? Okay, weird. Anyway. But I haven't ever voted for a third party candidate in a major political, like presidential election. Even if I totally agree with that person's stance on things, because I don't feel like my vote's gonna count in that case. And honestly, my vote doesn't really count anyway, the way the whole fucking delegate system works. And I'm in a red state. So my vote doesn't usually count anyway, so who cares? But I do vote. So I'm practical in that sense, but okay, like for example, my mom was telling me that her strategy for today's primary election, isn't that what's called? Primaries? Whatever. The election that's happening in Missouri on August 6th, whatever that is called. She's going to choose a Republican ballot because she wants to choose what she says is the person we're going to be up against. She wants to choose the least objectionable Republican, even though she's not Republican. But I can't in good conscience vote for a Republican, just personally. Because they want to take away rights for marginalized people. Full stop. They want to do that. So I can't vote for one of those people, you know? Like, yeah, I can, I don't know where the line is for me, I guess, because I'm able to vote for a Democrat that I don't totally believe in as a human being. But, and it's not like I don't identify as a Democrat. Like, I think both of those parties are kind of bullshit. I don't identify as a particular political party. I just give a shit about my own bodily autonomy. And I give a shit about the right for human beings to exist and feel safe in the universe. So whichever party seems to be supporting that a little bit more is who I'm going to choose. And that's the Democrats right now. Because we only have two choices, really, right now. Anyway, what was my point of that? I don't know. Let me just shut up for a second and put on mascara. I hate mascara with the fire of 1,000 suns. But I still wear it because I feel like it looks weird when I don't have it on. Especially if I've got a real grungy eye look going. At least right now I don't have to worry about messing it up. Because if I get a clump of mascara, who cares? Because this is a grungy look. It's only going to add to the effect if I have spider lashes. Spider lashes. Anyway. Oh, I was talking about it because of the lyrics of that song. We're all going to rise above the things that we lack. Good vibrations that we... What is this lyric? Good vibrations that we make will come bouncing back. And it reminds me that music is spirituality for me as well. So that got added to my like important spiritual songs mix that I call Witchual, which sounds terrible to say out loud, but okay. I'm gonna go with that. That is my makeup look. I would like to put on lipstick, but I need to brush my teeth first. So you guys aren't going to see the lipstick part of this unless I stop it and come back. I mean, I'm probably going to have to edit this video anyway. 34 minutes already? Okay, I'm gonna go brush my teeth and I'll be right back. Maybe I'll put my shoes on too before I sit back down, because you guys aren't gonna be able to see me putting my shoes on. So I might as well do that. Might as well not make you sit through it. Okay. BRB. Okay, never mind. I am gonna put my shoes on camera. I'm gonna wear my leopard socks today. Anyway, okay, I feel like this video has derailed. Like, I talked about fucking political crap, and anyway, all I want is for human beings to be able to afford their lives, whatever lives they choose to lead, and be accepted as full autonomous human beings in this world. That's all I want. I just want us all to like take care of each other and not be assholes. And so I'm gonna vote for anything that feels like a move in that direction. Okay. Let me look at my journal, because I do want to talk about what is different about like week 3 of no smartphone life. Besides the fact that I, you know, had that moment where I decided to just, you know, get rid of a lot of things. I am having a I did write, day 16, I wrote, I'm having a hard time managing internet time on days off. I still use my laptop a lot. The internet is still a problem for me even without a smartphone. That's absolutely the case. So I know there's ultimately going to be some more regulations on myself in regards to internet use in general, but right now I'm not making any rules for myself. I said I need a support group. I mean, I might revisit the dumb phone subreddit, but so far it seems like it's all about products. It's all about like reviewing the different dumb phones that are out there to help people get started if they're interested in a dumb phone, which of course is a great service. But I'm more interested in like, how do we philosophically deal with our lives once we've decided to give up with a smartphone, you know? That's the topic that I'm interested in, that I still feel like I haven't found. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I really probably just need to talk about the fact that I am in pursuit of a simple life. I really am. That's something that I've talked about a lot, but I need to reread the Tao Te Ching, I think. Because Lao Tzu, the 3 big things that he teaches are simplicity, patience, and compassion. And I need more of all of those things, all 3 of those things. Might try to learn how to meditate. I've never been successful at that. Yeah. I should say also, let me just like more obsess about the accounts that I deleted in the last week. What should I do for my lips? I mean, of course, with a smoky eye look, you could just leave your lips bare because you've got loud eyes. Do you need loud lips too? But I could also have loud lips if I wanted to. I have a lot of shades of brown. I also have a lot of like ox blood red type colors, which makes sense with the grunge vibes. Let's do that. Let's use a really old one that I have left over from the days of buying more expensive lipsticks. I have an Urban Decay in the shade, don't know if you can see it, Disturbed. And I call it Faith because I renamed all my lipsticks after Buffy characters. But I need to line my lips first. And I'm gonna do it with a brown lip liner that I need to sharpen first. So how this all began, like I wasn't planning to do this mass deletion of things, and it's possible that emotionally and psychologically I shouldn't have done it. I think this brown's gonna be too light. I need a different one. This one I don't need to sharpen. So, I woke up on Saturday. I had to work really early because I was covering for someone that was sick. Hold on, I need to find this lid that I dropped on the floor. Oh my God, there's a bunch of my hair on the floor. Of course there is. Where else would it go but by my bureau? Okay. So I woke up on Saturday, absurdly early for me, and I knew that I had some messages on WhatsApp to catch up on from some of my friends, as I had seen that I had some messages before I went to bed the night before, but I had to go to bed early, so I didn't listen to them. And so I open up my laptop first thing in the morning, I've got my coffee, I'm ready to listen to my messages from my friends, and they're all gone. Every single message and the contact info of everybody was gone. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was just a general issue with WhatsApp or if it had something to do with the fact that I no longer have a smartphone, but you can still use WhatsApp without a smartphone. I mean, I have a phone. It can text me authorization codes and things like that, and I was using WhatsApp with no problem for the first 2 weeks of my dumb phone life on my laptop. But everything blew up. I'm gonna have to be quiet because I'm doing my lips, so talk amongst yourselves. So essentially, everything was gone. Everything. And I'm not like a keeping track of receipts person in the general sense of like, I don't archive conversations I've had with people. I don't go back and revisit old messages. I live in the moment. I assume that conversations with friends are happening in the moment and then they're disappearing like mist into the sands of time. You know, I don't really like care that I lost all of my previous conversations, but I lost the ones that had already been sent to me that I hadn't heard yet, which sucked because Julie had sent me a video that I wanted to watch, and it was just gone for me. I don't think it was gone on anyone else's end. It was just gone on my end. And also the contact info. Like, luckily the pictures of the people were still next to their phone numbers, so I could usually recognize who it was, but I lost their names. It just had a number and a picture. So I don't know what caused the glitch. I have this one part of my lower lip that's numb. So it's weird to put lipstick on it still. It's been like 10 or 15 years. I had a surgery on my lip. Cut it open. I had to have my whole lip just sort of laid open from the inside. And I still don't have full feeling in that lip. in that part of my lower lip. Anyway, so that's what started it. I was already kind of like, you know, I was getting ready for work super early in the morning. So I didn't have time to deal with it in that moment, to like try to figure out what the fuck happened, etc. And I'll be honest, I kind of obsessed about it all day while I was at work. I was like Googling things, and like it reminded me that I don't want to be a part of any of the meta things, you know. I was at the front desk all day, which tends to be a higher anxiety time for me anyway, so I spent a lot of the day sort of nervously Googling things. I ended up on Reddit several times, and I had already made the decision that I'm done. I'm done with WhatsApp. Like, basically I had to kind of start over. Like, all permissions were, like, because you always have to, like, you know, give permission to an app to record your voice, give permission to use the camera, etc. All of those permissions were revoked when whatever happened with my app happened, and I just didn't reauthorize it. I typed in to a few friends that I talk to on a pretty regular basis, like, hey, I'm moving over to Signal. I really hope you'll come over there with me because it's supposed to be like a nonprofit, more secure, etc. And so I just sort of typed out like a quick message to everybody, and then I just deleted the account. So typical me. I need more patience. I need more patience. I think it's possible that like people didn't even see my message before I fucking disappeared into the ether, and maybe when I disappeared all my messages did too. So it's possible they didn't even see it. Anyway, this wasn't supposed to be about WhatsApp, but that happened this week. I deleted it. And so far, I like Signal better. Only been using it for like 3 days at this point as I record this. But it works almost exactly the same as WhatsApp, so it was very easy to learn how to use. I like it. It actually has slightly more visual customization options, like you can customize the shade, the colors, and the wallpapers and things like that. I mean, you could do a little bit of that in WhatsApp, but not as much. So I was able to make it look exactly the way I wanted it to. And bonus, that new like Meta AI icon, you know, that's up in the top left corner, that's just sort of like, it's got like a beautiful, enticing galaxy animation of a little circle. That was just constantly doing that up in the corner for the last few weeks or couple months or something. I don't miss that. So I'm happy to be free of WhatsApp, but I am a little bit worried that my contact with some of my friends will diminish if they don't feel like moving to Signal. And I know I'm a high maintenance friend because I was just like, please download this new app to come talk to me. Okay, bye. And then I just blew up my account. Like, what a fucking asshole I am sometimes. Because I'm just impatient. I decide I'm going to do something and it becomes intolerable to me to continue. I decide I'm going to quit something or blow something up, and it becomes intolerable to me to continue tolerating whatever thing it is that I've decided to let go of. Anyway, thanks for being with me on this Get Ready With Me.